Okay, the MISC Reliant Kore. This is an interesting ship with an interesting design. We're going to see why people like it so much. We're going to see why it won the votes that it did. It's got room for 2 pilots, and it's got a very exotic design. I'm actually not even sure where you actually enter the ship. It seems to be a purpose-built ship, but it's got a very wide wingspan. Like, I don't even know if you could actually park this on a Carrack. Maybe you could if you, you know, oriented yourself sideways, but this is the mining area, cargo area. You could probably fit maybe a small ATV back here, and of course your oars and whatnot. And then you literally just walk up here to the bridge and you're in. This is probably the closest that you're going to get to a fighter plane, okay? This ship literally has absolutely no amenities whatsoever. It's entirely purpose built. So we're going to see how it flies.
Hello, how can MISC help you today?
But yeah,
Systems on.
this boy's all business. And I hope it's not a VTOL because I've had nothing but the worst of luck.
You are clear to launch.
Looking kind of VTOL-y.
Launch sequence complete. Front collision.
Alright, lift landing gear. Oh, nice, okay. It's not a VTOL. And the blizzard stopped. Thank God. Alright. So, go ahead, turn on cruise control. So, immediately, I like the UI of this ship. The telemetry is actually easier to read. It's actually easy to read, okay? And that's a big, big plus compared to other ships. You also have this very wide view that really all MISC ships offer. So that's just kind of their design language, and that's something that I really appreciate. RSI does a decent job of that too, but no one does it like MISC. MISC literally puts you ahead in the action. You're someone with a fear of heights like I am, you might find it to be unsettling, but it doesn't bother me. You know, the only time my fear of heights are triggered is when I play VR or when I play Mirror's Edge with the FOV maxed out. Like sometimes that will trigger my vertigo, but I still play it that way because it's the most exhilarating. I guess because I know if I screw up, I can just, you know, respawn and I don't actually break my legs. It's Faith that breaks her legs, and then she respawns, and then she's perfectly fine and happy. So we're not even redlining, so we already know this isn't a performance ship, but it's got plenty of guns, So definitely has that. Will we clear it? Will we clear it? I think we will. Yeah. Alright. And now we're getting more speed. Yeah. This doesn't feel like a very maneuverable ship though. Just by nature of the very, very wide wingspan. I mean, wingspan is just massive. But when you actually try to turn this thing around, you see that it's very rotation friendly. Like I can turn this thing circles very easily and really have like no negative impacts whatsoever. And if I want to do a barrel roll, well, that's not a barrel roll. That's it's a straight up loop, but you can do that. Barrel roll is actually where I feel the plane is weakest, but it has a wide wingspan and we are in atmo. All the rules more or less go out of the window when you're in space, um, except for inertia related activities. But I mean, come on, this is the perfect ship for um, sightseeing. I mean, it's so good at handling at normal speeds. So you don't know how it's going to handle, going in high speed. But this thing, you pretty much point it where you want it to go, and it goes. Like it's absolutely a treat to fly. So we're gonna give it a little more thrust now, and to see how it handles under pressure. Kind of stress it a little bit. Okay. It's not a fast ship, but it's incredibly maneuverable. It wouldn't be the ship that I would count on to get me out of a pinch, like say I was being chased by someone. But if I was, doing some mining, which I'm sure this ship can fit mining lasers, if I was doing some mining, I would totally choose this ship 100% of the time. But there's a reason why players voted the ship in, and its maneuverability is unrivaled. Like, the maneuverability of this ship is incredible. Like, it's absolutely amazing how easy it is to fly this ship. Like, if it, with every other ship that I've tested, I wouldn't dare do this. I wouldn't even attempt to do something like this. Okay. But this ship here, it just feels so safe. it makes me take risks, even though I know I shouldn't because of the wide wingspan. And that's because it doesn't let you go fast. It doesn't let you move at a dangerous speed. It forces you to just drive at like a normal speed. So this kind of reminds me of like a Toyota Camry. It's a big sedan, and it's got its features, and it's really about getting you from point A to point B in as much comfort as possible. But is this a ship that you're going to, take out for days on end? Absolutely not. It doesn't have any amenities for that. What it does have, however, is view distance, control, maneuverability, speed, um, and even with the high winds of microtech, this thing is holding its own because it is big. It is a big ship. So some of that inertia actually helps, or some of that mass actually helps with inertia because it stops you from basically being carried over by the wind or being battered by the wind, like we saw with the Razor that I just had flown in a previous video, where it was quick and agile, but the weather was just too rough on it, and it beat it up and slapped it around and threw it around. And this ship here, is just, it's rolling with the punches, man. It's rolling with the punches. So that's a Cutlass Black right there on the ground. Maybe someone else crashed it like I did. But yeah, I actually feel safe flying this ship. And that is more than what I can say about every other ship that I've flown. Yeah, it's very impressive. tight canyons, cityscape flying, I think this is the best ship I've flown, honestly. Especially for bad weather. Now, if in good weather, like if I was on Area 18, it would probably be the Razor for sure, because the Razor owns when it doesn't have weather beating it up. But when you do have weather beating you up, this is the way to go. So let's go ahead and let's land this baby. I'm blown away. This ship is good. This is really good. Wow, I am really impressed with how the ship flies. I guess we could try to do a little weapons test. Fly out of the city limits. Yeah, I think this may actually be a fighter, and that's why. So here we are, flying towards the blizzard. Let's get a little more altitude on this thing. That's gorgeous. Something you can't get with other ships. Something you can't get with other makes. Only MISC can bring you this. Only MISC can bring you this kind of experience where you can just fly above the planet and just enjoy all of the beauty that it has to offer you. Yeah, this might be my favorite ship. Like the Banu Defender rates really high up there with me as well, but this is what I like to do, man. I like to just fly solo, explore, and sightsee. That's literally what I do every time I play Star Citizen. So whenever there's a free fly event, I always make sure to log on because that's what I like to do. You know, I'm not really a fan of the first-person shooting, not really a fan of all the other mechanics because you know it's rough. It's still in development. There's still a lot of bugs, a lot of issues, but flying and just enjoying the environment, and just enjoying the work that CIG has done on these worlds, um, that's something that works really well. You don't run into too many technical issues with that, so that's really what I like to do. And yeah, this ship just makes it worth it. And if you're flying with someone, you know, a buddy, just, you know, it's great, man. Especially for those longer voyages. And I'm sure this ship has plenty of get up and go to it. Like, for example, if we look at the loadout manager, we've got some missiles on here and cannons, repeaters. So it's basically a fighter. This is a MISC fighter, and it's not the fastest, but it's incredibly maneuverable, and just a really great all-around ship. And I actually don't want to stop flying it, but we must move on to other ships. We're almost finished, actually, going through the lineup. So hopefully I'll be able to finish by the end of the night. I have to be in bed soon because I have work in the morning, but I would like to try to finish everything. this ship really gripped me. Of all the ships that I've flown, this one is really the best, and I'm willing to say that. I mean, it's called the Reliant Core for a reason, you know, and this is old faithful. It looks like I'm about to be DC'd, so perfect time to end the review of this ship. But yeah, it's amazing. MISC Reliant Core.